Hello, everyone. Ooh, am I? Yep, we should be on. I forgot this thing has 30 different things, so it pops up. Hey, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of Co-op Chat. And today we'll have the wonderful Steve with us. Bairnt is unable to join. He has some other real life stuff to deal with, so he'll be taking care of that. But Bairnt, I have coffee, so we should be good.
We should be good. That's right. That's right.
So, how are you enjoying Gameapalooza Canje edition so far?
Oh, it was a great time, and it's so good to be back to you streaming because I've missed it.
Oh, we're going to get into that for sure. That's something we're going to discuss today. So, today is going to be a Q&A. We are basically answering all questions that you'll have. If you want, Steve just made me aware that there's this feature that I've had the whole time that I never knew existed. So if you have a question, you type the word question.
Yep, you type the word question in the live chat. It will highlight it for us to see, and then we can address it easier.
Okay.
So that way, if you're chatting amongst yourselves, it doesn't pop up as...
Okay, so it's... All right.
So just write the word question.
And so ask any questions that you like. We are here to answer, but we're also going to talk. And we're going to open this up with ripping the Band-Aid off. Steve, your computer. My question for Q&A
Too soon.
My question for Q&A is, your computer. Yeah, what happened there?
Oh, I struggled so much. So it started off with a blue screen of death. I'm like, okay, this is great. Good sign. Good sign. And when I restarted it, I couldn't actually boot into Windows. I was like, okay, well, we try safe mode. Couldn't do that either. So this thing was what I assumed to be the Windows file system was corrupted, as far as I can tell. So I'm like, well, this sucks. So I troubleshoot it a ton. I'm like, let's just nuke it. So I nuked the whole thing, started rebuilding back up, and then the machine was literally idling. I was prepping for a stream, Marvel United stream actually, and then blue screen of death again. I'm like,
oh, no.
I'm normally a pretty patient person. Except for computers. And so I'm like, well, let me restart. And I restarted and wouldn't actually get into Windows again because the file was...
The boot loop? Was it stopping the boot loop?
Not boot loop this time. Not looping, but it wouldn't actually boot into Windows. Safe mode, everything was kaput. So I'm like, well, this sucks. I can nuke it again, but this might solve the root problem.
Yeah.
So I contacted the company I bought it from. Went through stuff with them. Long story short, it does seem to imply it's a hardware-related issue. It could be, like when I did a test on RAM, it looked like that was faulty, so it is currently in the shop with them. I haven't heard back from them yet, but I'm hoping to hear back from them and have it sent back in probably another 2 weeks. Honestly.
Oh, no. Hey, Stacy, what's going on? No,
Hey,
I think about that, and I'm just like, all I see is like this repair guy is like, there's your problem. I can fix her. Just don't have the parts in stock.
That too.
Oh my gosh! So that's pretty cool. It sucks that that your PC is offline for so long. I know you were saying he and I were talking throughout the entire week, and as well as when he was here, and he's like, "You miss streaming.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get back to it."
I do.
So this is a nice breath of fresh air to be live again with everybody.
I can probably get the old computer up and running, but I tried last time. I got some bugs to work out on that one because my setup has changed since I used that computer, and it is more intensive because I tried to up the quality.
Okay.
But my old computer's quality did not up with it. So
so that was when you were doing the Apocalypse stream and it just kind of bumped.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got I'll do Jan's after this one, but this one's still on the same topic. Question: were you running Windows 10 or Windows 11?
11.
Wah wah. So Windows 11 for the loss.
It's great because it tries to be so smart and nope. Let me fix myself, and I can't do it. I'm like, well, yeah, that's worthless. Thanks.
Stacey says, I asked because I keep getting prompts to go to 11, but I've been told by someone in Discord to avoid 11. Avoid it. Don't, no. Stay at 10. You're safe. Stay at 10 until they go into maintenance mode.
Yeah, that's probably a safe bet. Probably is.
All right, so we got a question from Jan. Jan says, question: how often do you meet to sync on One Stop Co-op Shop and Canje stuff behind the scenes, and how chaotic can I go? I will say you can be chaotic good in your question asking. I wouldn't say chaotic evil. Chaotic neutral's a stretch, but chaotic good, you're in the safe spot. How often do we
sync? I'm trying to think of what do you mean by sync. Are you talking about like
talking? We talk every day.
Oh yeah, that's like constant. Middle of the night. Are you still up?
So
syncing on that part a ton.
Yeah. Bairnt, Steve, and I talk on Marco Polo.
Mm-hmm.
We talk on Discord chat. We talk on we talk almost every day.
Yeah.
And I think usually if 2 days go by, because Bairnt did that the other time, if 2 days go by and Bairnt hasn't heard from us, we're getting a Marco Polo from Bairnt saying, "Where the hell are you guys?
Yeah.
Why haven't I heard from y'all in a while?" So
yeah, this interaction between us is very genuine. So we talk all the time.
We talk all the time. In terms of meetups, once a month we try for.
For Gameapalooza, that's true.
Yeah.
If Bairnt was closer, we'd definitely meet up with him frequently as well.
Yeah.
The distance thing.
Bairnt lives in the Midwest,
right?
And we are on the East Coast, so it's very difficult for that. But we're meeting up at Gen Con.
That's right.
So we'll be at Gen Con together.
We do also play games on like Tabletop Simulator,
yeah,
for example.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, we'll do that as well. So.
Yeah.
Especially if we're trying to learn games together, because it helps.
Yeah.
Having someone else to, hey, I've got to do this preview. Would you mind sitting down with me and figuring this out with me?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And for me, that's a lot of time where I'm just like, Steve, there's a rule book.
Ooh, rule book.
Steve's like, sweet, let's do this. So that's how it works out.
Well, we were talking about what to play today, and it's like, oh, I've got this Maximum Apocalypse Wild. I can't remember
the Wasted Wild.
Wasted Wild, thank you.
Yeah.
And I open the box, and the first thing I grab is a rule book. I put the rust of the box on the side. Like, yes, this is what I want.
And he did read it while I was doing setup, so we're gonna play it today.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna do. That's gonna be a thing that we get done today, which will be good. So we got.
Oh, prepare and organize. Ooh, that's a good question. That's the sync.
First we had. Oh, we're staying. Yeah. We'll come back to this one, Stacy. So this is to add on to that question. To prepare and organize. That varies.
It does. There's a lot of preparations behind the scenes, to be honest. A lot. And the one good thing is we are very open about the tips and tricks we do personally.
Yeah.
And so we share those tips and tricks with others. You'll see a lot of similarities between our streams because of that. So there's a lot of syncing on that front.
Yeah. There's, for instance, this chat that you're seeing flying up. Steve was the one that introduced me to that because I was looking for one and I started using, there was a third-party one, but it was very shoddy. Mm-hmm. It was like you had to launch through their platform.
Yeah.
And so I didn't like that. And he put me onto this one. And so I've been using it because it's great. It captures all the colors. There's no washout and anything, and it's perfect. Mm-hmm. All right. So Stacy's question. Playing D&D for the first time today. Any quick tips? Don't attack the city guards.
Yes. Or
don't split the party.
That too. The other one is don't rush into battle. I'll say that much because I distinctly remember playing a D&D game that Jerry was hosting it.
Uh-huh.
And it was Mike, Peter, myself. I think it was just us. I think it was. And I remember there was like this ruins, and there was like zombies around, but they weren't attacking us. And then a necromancer popped out of this tent or whatever, and before he had to say basically any words, all I hear is Peter going, "Wombo combo!" and Russ starts beating him down and takes him out, and all the zombies immediately maul us, and they went on for like another hour of battling these resurrecting zombies. And at the end, Jerry's like, "He was going to talk to you. If you didn't attack him, they would have attacked you." Like, Peter, why? So
yeah. So I haven't been a player character very often. I'm more a DM, only because it's like a lot of people who play D&D are it's a very vulnerable experience.
Yes.
So it's like you come to it, especially for the first time, you're very vulnerable. So saying, hey, first time you're playing, you're gonna DM is like, so I usually DM a lot, and when I do that, I make it so they understand that there's consequences for their actions, right? So, for instance, one guy went into a town and he just started walking up to people and being like, what quest do you have? Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, so let's put this in perspective. you just walked into a room of strangers and just started asking them a bunch of questions. What do you think they're gonna do?
Oh, sure.
So they're gonna be like, "I'm good." Start walking off. Or when they turn and one of the other characters who was starting, we were playing the Lost Mines of Phandelver quest, and he went by the gang's hideout, and so he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go inside." So like,
oh yeah, nothing bad happens. Fine.
Sure. Let's let this happen. Let's let this play out. And he got mauled inside there.
That happened to me as well when I was DMing. So I've never DM'd D&D.
Okay.
I don't know the rule set that well, but I've DM'd Star Wars.
Okay.
Or RPG, and I remember distinctly there was they were on Ryloth. This city was being subjugated by this crime organization that was using it for labor. And they had the big camp or whatever, big compound. And so they just walk in to the local canteen of the compound where the boss is there. Like, what are you doing?
Hey, you let them do it.
I said, let them do it. And so they walked in there and they played off like, oh, we want to join you.
Oh.
It just blew my mind. Like, okay, we're playing this out.
Yeah,
and it led to this whole situation where like, oh, you have to do this for me, this bad thing for me.
Yeah.
To see what the players are doing.
There are plenty of times where my players has done stuff that I didn't expect, and I had to flip on the fly to try to help out. I think there was this funny one moment where I had a cavern. I wanted them to go down this cavern. So there was a hatch that was above, but the hatch was sealed. Mm-hmm. And then there was this cavern. Mm-hmm. So they were like, well, we don't want to go down that cavern. Mm-hmm. But there was nowhere else for them to go. Mm-hmm. So they were like, well, let's try the hatch. Okay, that won't work. Okay, let me start off by saying that they're in some ruins deep underground. So they were like, okay, yeah, well, we don't want to go down that cavern. So they cast fireball on the ceiling.
Oh, jeez. Nothing bad could happen. Twice.
I was like, Caven, sorry. So I was like, but they had to do it, and I had to find. My thing was I was trying to be as gracious, so I had to find ways to help them try to make it through this. Yeah, so there was a lot of saving throws going on. But I was like, okay. And then they would come up with cool stuff like you said, like trying to join the boss thing, or this one when they did, they avoided like about 5 encounters because they had to walk through this area, and the druid was like, no, I'm just gonna cast Windwalk on us, and turned us in the clouds and flew away.
Oh, geez.
I was like, cool. That'll work. All right, so next question. Why are you 3 so awesome? No, it's an illusion. Steve and Bairnt are awesome. I'm just here along for the ride.
we could do this all without all of us helping out. Honestly, it's a group effort, so everyone contributes differently for this. It's fun though. Yeah.
So much fun. Noted. I'm stoked for this. I love these stories. Looking forward to creating some. Yeah, Stacy, D&D is fun.
It is, and that's the one big difference I find in RPGs versus board games. Board games, I have really fun mechanical moments, and I enjoyed. I don't remember the experiences as well as an RPG.
Oh, yeah.
Because the stories you tell together stick in my mind.
Yeah.
I could list out a bunch of them right now.
Yeah. We make... I am 5 years in on my D&D campaign with one group that I'm playing with and DMing for them. And I remember all the key, like those big moments. Yeah. They're still there because it was so well done.
Yeah.
Their greatest moment was not even a battle. It was an RP session.
Oh yeah.
Where they had a choice, and the interactions between them too, because the choice was, we can get so many things that we want, but all we have to do is free this guy. And so it's like, well, but we could get all the answers. We could get everything that we want. And so it's like, no, if you free him, it's going to be, so I just sat back and let them do their thing. And that was probably the best session that I've ever run through.
I will say that the more you put into an RPG, both from a player's perspective and a DM's perspective, you get more out of it.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
hey, Dan, what's going on? Sorry I was late. How dare you? Get out. Did you guys finally give Bairnt the ban he so richly deserves? No, Bairnt's big time.
He's royalty.
Bairnt is royalty. So there's a funny story to that, but we will not let him live that down. So every single time y'all see me say, "Oh, we got royalty here," it's because of that. We'll let Bairnt tell that story, but we never let him live that down. So I'm gonna go on kind of while we're waiting for more questions to kind of come in. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go and ask you. As of late, you've been playing a game that I'm super jealous of.
What game could that be?
But it's here.
It is.
It's here, and I will be playing it. Yes. From the stuff that you can tell us of the game, what are and for people who are curious, it's Isofarian Guard. So for the stuff that you can tell us of the game, mm-hmm. What are the things that? And I'm not asking for a full-on review. You could touch it because I know you want to play more before you give a big overview of everything.
Yeah, for sure.
But what are the things that you are loving about it? Mm-hmm. And what are the things where you were like, this is okay? See, I wouldn't even ask about, because I'll leave that for the review of that side. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with the game Isofarian Guard, this has been my most anticipated since, honestly, it launched like 3 years ago, I feel like. It's been forever. But it is an open world narrative campaign. Honestly, something's not too far off Skyrim in a box, right? Something similar to that. Yeah. And what drew me to it, honestly, was the soundtrack, to be frank. Because when they were talking about, like, oh, we have this custom soundtrack, I'm like, I'm in. I love soundtracks. It is what I normally listen to when I listen to music. I'm weird like that. I don't listen to normal stuff. But that got me excited.
Yeah.
Now, the game itself, mechanically, it is a bag builder, which I don't really have too many of those, which is great.
Okay.
But it's an open world game, which is another big plus for me.
Okay.
And I think because the combat system is very well done. Mm-hmm. There's a lot you can do with it that kind of helps bring it forward. And just the exploration part of it, I think I love it, where it has different regions, and the regions are unique. I'll find certain creatures in this part of the region, and the cities aren't looking for these materials and items because they're common to that region. Mm-hmm. But if you go someplace else, guess what? They're looking for those because they're not nearby, so you can sell them for more money. And so, like, this whole like system that's built into it, and this somewhat living world is what I really enjoy about it.
Okay.
Now, some of the things questioning about it, there are moments in the game where you could basically not do anything on your turn. There are ways to mitigate around that, as we're finding out as we play more and more, but that is one aspect you're running into.
Okay.
Also, it can be somewhat grindy. I don't know if everyone's going to enjoy that.
Okay.
Now, for us, I sat down with Kim just before I came here. Hey, you want to play this for a little bit before I pack it away? And she's like, no, yeah, we'll play for 30 minutes. 3 hours later, we're like, what is the time? We gotta stop. So,
hey Jen, what's going on? How's it going?
Hey, Jen.
Welcome. So, yeah, Jen, I met her through like chatting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then she and I have just been kind of talking off and on. So
nice.
She is actually a Twitch streamer that Twitch streams board games. And so I was like, hey, it would be great if we like get together and play a game. So we're just trying to find time in the schedule to do that. So you'll see a game with Jen on it soon, which is fantastic.
That's
so
awesome.
Hello.
I love, by the way, we started on Twitch, and I love that platform for like the tools that they allow for interaction with the community. Mm-hmm. I wish YouTube would do that.
Yeah.
I hope it gets there eventually.
Eventually, it'll definitely get there. So Jan has a question. Hey, why is that there? Sorry. The chat overlay should be on top. That's so weird. It is on top.
Can you move it to the top of the screen?
That's strange. That is strange. Anyway, my computer's doing stupidness. So, question. Is the rulebook better now than in the Kickstarter and easily misinterpreted rules?
Yeah, I've been going through it and asking the designer stuff as well. Like, I asked them the other day about summoning, because some enemies can summon more enemies come join the battle. And the question I had is like, oh yeah, go check this part of the rulebook. And I pulled up that part of the rulebook, and sure enough, it had everything laid out. I just missed it. So far, I haven't encountered rules that weren't in there yet. There were rules that I probably missed that he's been able to point out. So far, so good, Jan. Now, the only kicker with the rulebook is there are multiple books. And this one I struggle with a little bit because there is a rulebook, which tells you the basics of how to play. There is a reference book, which is honestly like a combat guide.
Okay.
And then there is a reference sheet in addition to that. So that's your learning material.
Okay.
But then on top of that, you have a campaign book. You have an index book and a quest book.
It's a lot of books.
A lot of books.
This
book is book heavy. So if you don't like reading, go on, move along. So there's a lot of books in this one. But yeah, so far so good. It's been actually really good. I could tell they put a lot of attention to detail in this one.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Jen, I just had to take my car in to get looked at. My dashboard looks like Christmas, right? Oh no! That's not good. That's Steve's computer.
Oh, I think I told the story before, but I would tell it again. It was really funny. I was driving. Kim was driving, my wife, and she was driving down the street, and I happened to look over at a dashboard, and I saw the engine light was on, and I was like, turned to like, oh, you should probably get that checked. I was like, what? The engine light? No, that's right. What are you talking about? It's like the engine light is on means the engine's running. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Means the engine's running.
She just had a lapse of what that meant.
Oh, that is incredible. That's incredible. I love it. That's incredible. Let's see. So it's like, oh my god. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, what you got?
So you've got some games recently. You acquired. What's going on? Not a private moment, not anymore. Too late now.
Oh, that is incredible.
So yeah, you've got some games recently. What game are you haven't played yet that you're most excited to try?
Oh boy, all of them. Let's see. So what I've gotten Earth. That's the one that's right there.
Nice. Yeah.
I've got Hamlet. I've got Catharsis, which I just got from Fred, who was doing a liquidation sale of his stuff. And I've got a game that we're going to be previewing for a designer today.
Yep.
What am I excited about playing? Ice Fair and Garth.
Okay.
That's probably my most excited one. But my thing with Earth is I think Earth is I think it's a Euro from yes. What I looked out of it.
Yeah.
And I love Euros, but my problem with Euros is Euros are not solo centric. It's not its function.
Right.
It's meant to be social. Right. So 2 plus players. Now Frostpunk is a Euro-ish. And so it's meant to only because the cubes that fall into the tray are like dice. But that is meant to be played solo or multiplayer, and it works fine. This War of Mine is meant to be played. Well, that's not really a Euro, but I love Euros, but Euros don't. I can't fully get into them unless there is some type of campaign that's not beat your own score.
Yeah.
And what worries me about Earth is that it's that.
What?
And I'll lose out on a really great game because I only play games solo.
That's a kicker I run into with Euros as well. Like mechanically, I enjoy Euros quite a bit.
Yeah.
My thing is I want to play cooperative games.
Yeah.
And the problem is Euros tend to be victory point
competitive,
which is competitive. And how do you make a victory point game cooperative and still make it engaging?
Yeah.
It's tough.
And and for solo mode they have is it Automa I don't know what do you call it?
Automa.
Automa?
I think Automa. Yeah.
So
Automa, maybe? I don't know.
I was struggling with the word.
Either was a pronunciation, so don't look at me.
So for people who don't know, and I've got this up here, so I'll just pull this up so y'all can see Earth. And Bairnt did a video of oh my gosh, of course it'd be like 30 billion different ones. 3,959 came up in this search. Thank you, Kickstarter. So games, tabletop.
Yeah, Bairnt really liked this one. We talked about it.
Yeah. So. Wow, and I still can't find it in here. Was Earth on GameFound? Because I'm gonna go to GameFound too, so y'all can see everything that I bought. Yep, there's my name if you ever want to know. So you're gonna see everything that I backed and lost money on. So, it would have to be here. How early was Earth? Yeah, I don't care if y'all see this. This doesn't bother me. Here it is, Earth.
Ooh. That's a good question Ryan has. We'll move on to that one in a second, though.
Okay. So, but this one is, here it is right here. It's just kind of, it's very, and I did, it was for a good price, you get a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but it's just basically it's a Euro engine builder type of game about the Earth, and the art is beautiful, but I can't really, if it's beat your own score only, it probably might not win with me.
One of the games that I liked as a Euro, both solo and competitive, was Lewis and Clark. Because Lewis and Clark, the victory condition is racing across the coast, right? Or to the coast.
Yeah.
Because it's based upon the expedition.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you play it solo, the AI moves along the track, and so it's a race to outbeat them. So that I enjoy, because it's not just like, oh, I'm getting 50 points this time. I got 60 points this time, whatever,
Yeah.
So I enjoy that. Now, there's an exception to that. Nemo's War is score-based, primarily. But that game is fantastic. I love that game.
Everyone has told me that Nemo's War is a fun game to play solo.
I should have brought it.
It says like it's a solo masterpiece for a Euro.
It is only solo. It does technically play co-op. Don't do it. It's only solo game. It is great though.
Okay, all right. So let's pop into this question. What do we got? Question: has your hesitation with TES changed with recent info trickling in TES?
Elder Scrolls.
Oh.
Okay, so this is Big Games. It's launching next week. This is Chip Theory Games. So maybe a little back history. Neither of us have been very positive on Chip Theory Games.
I have one game. One game that's won. Okay. One game. Hoplomachus Victorum is awesome.
I have not played that yet.
It is awesome, and it's solo only.
Yep.
So there's, but it is fun. Like the battles. They fixed the thing about battles that I didn't like about Too Many Bones in that.
Okay.
Because with Too Many Bones, you could just kite the enemy and win. Pretty much. You could time him out and win. And so it was open to this interpretation. So let's say you're over here and the enemy's here, right? Instead of the enemy moving closer to you at a diagonal, you can say, well, no, I'm just going to move it here, and then I'll move here.
Oh, right.
And I'll move here, and then I'll move back. Yeah. And I could just do this all day. And it was part of the design to like, cheat the system to win. And I hated that. Because I was like, okay, I could game the game, it's no longer fun. So that annoyed me with it, and that was one of the reasons why I kind of stopped liking Too Many Bones.
I don't know if... Do you have that possibility of higher play counts, do you? I don't think you can kite as easily, because there's more enemies.
There's more... You can't kite as easily, but the board closes in on you.
True.
So that's the problem with scale.
Right.
Because that means that the board closes in, so you got somebody who can't take big hit. Sometimes there's nowhere for them to go.
Yep.
And so therefore you just kind of get beat up. Yep. And that was another thing that got me with Too Many Bones. But Hoplomachus Victorum has the same map structure, but the movement interactions and the board itself is different. And so I enjoyed it. It is a true strategy game.
Cool.
So,
because I played
the one win.
Because I played Burn Cycle and Too Many Bones, and none of these games are bad. I'll put it that way, at least from my opinion. I like Too Many Bones the best so far, but it's not enough for me to be like, yes, I want to go play that game.
Yeah.
If someone asks to play it, I will gladly and happily play it, but I won't actually go after any questions.
And I ended up walking past Too Many Bones on my shelf so many times that I was like, yeah, I'm not going back to this. So I won't be playing that.
You should try Victorium. Yeah, we should do it, Ryan, for sure. Because honestly, the theme is something I love. I love ancient history stuff. So, okay, anyway. So, same company that makes those games is making Elder Scrolls, which is, I think, the biggest game as they've been claiming.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like a combination of Too Many Bones and Victorium combined.
What scared me was when they said it's basically Too Many Bones too. I was like...
It does seem more and more like Too Many Bones, to be honest. But 2.0, like you said, yeah. So I came in with the announcement expecting something different than what's being delivered.
Yeah.
So I'm having to adjust my expectations that way, because when I think Elder Scrolls, I think open world.
Yes. That is it at its heart. Yep.
But this is not an open world game.
This is not an open world game. There is a story.
Correct.
But it's not open world.
It's open world in the sense you can choose what region you want to explore, but that's basically it. It's got a set structure with, I think, a little bit of branching on it. I'm not exactly sure the details of it.
It's kind of like Too Many Bones. That it had a set story with a quote unquote branching structure, but the branching structure were in the cards.
Exactly. I think it's the same thing here. My guess.
Yeah.
So that was like, okay, well, it's different than I expected. Fine. And then I looked at how it's being presented, which I'm excited for, because it's choose a race, you choose a innate skill set, I guess to say, and then you can level up between that. And I'm not seeing how the other powers come in, because for me, doing unique character builds, is very exciting for me. I enjoy that, and I just need more information on that to be able to make a call on this game. So right now I'm in the looks cool.
Yeah.
Some concerns.
Yeah.
But also it looks different than my expectations, so a little bit concerns there.
Yeah.
But as it's being presented, I don't see any red flags yet.
As soon as they said Too Many Bones, that was a red flag for
me. Okay.
But I am being cautiously optimistic, which means I'm giving them, give. And who the hell am I, right? But I still go with the I'm giving them a shot to impress me. So I'm keeping my mind still open to the concept. I'm hopeful. I'm a huge fan of the world of Tamriel, and so that the one thing that I was excited about in their discussion is that it's spanning different places. It could do the Summer Isles. It could do Cyrodiil. It could do Hammerfell. It could do all these different locations, and it's expandable to add more locations.
Yeah.
So as soon as they said it's sprawling, I was like, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go to these different locations. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm cautiously optimistic, because if at the end of the day it boils down to it's Too Many Bones, you could game the system, I'm like, ugh, damn it. Nope.
I do like how it's a cooldown with the dice instead of the ability dice are spent and you don't.
Instead they're gone.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's
another one of my things.
It's fine as a design choice, but it's not something I enjoy.
Yeah. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I hope that it'll go well, and I if they can pull off what they pulled off with Hoplomachus Victorum, it will be a winner for me, because Hoplomachus is fun. It is a lot of fun.
It's interesting because I came in expecting to have to compare Elder Scrolls to Skyrim, because that was by Modifius, right?
Yeah.
And these games seem almost nothing alike.
Yeah, they're completely different. They're completely different.
So
yeah. So we've got you and Kim should try Victorum together. That would be, well, it's a solo-based game, so I don't know how y'all be able to do it.
I'm not sure. I talked to Ryan about
it. Maybe you can, like, she controls the units and you control the hero, or vice versa.
Correct, you can share.
So you can share and play it, which, it could work. So, Steve, when are you, Terrence, and I playing Burn Cycle, then?
I would love to play Burn Cycle with you guys, for sure, because I played it...
I played it once, and once was too much.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying again, just to see if my experience has changed. My issue with Burn Cycle is my expectations were wrong coming into it. So I was set up to fail. Okay. I'm a sucker for stealth games, and Burn Cycle is supposed to be a stealth game, right? And it definitely is, but the stealth is not the main aspect of the game.
Oh, the grid.
Well, it's doing a lot of different things.
Yeah, because it's movement, stealth, and then there's the grid of hacking and all that other stuff. So because it has stealth mechanics is the reason why I didn't like it. So.
I'm not surprised. So the stealth was fine. It was good.
Yeah.
There are other games that do better. I will say go out there and say that, but nothing inherently wrong with the stealth itself. My biggest thing going into it is I wanted a really good stealth game, and the stealth. It's not a really good stealth game. It's just a good game, right, in itself.
Yeah.
The stealth is just there as well.
Mm-hmm.
But my biggest thing is it felt like they were making the game complex for complexity's sake.
Gotcha.
Like, why is this ruling here? Why not streamline these things together? It would still have the same mechanical flair.
Yeah.
It just mathematic fearless.
I get you. All right, so what do we got? So we got another question here. More interesting one. What are each of your first 2 stops when you get to Gen Con? Come on, Booth. Because they will have will have something else from Marvel United for us to pick up.
There probably will be a promo.
But if there isn't, I probably will go. Ooh, that's a broad question. If Come On has a promo, that's going to be the first stop.
Well, it depends what you mean by stop. Because I always go to the Fantasy Flight in-flight report. So, lately they've had it remotely. So, if it's remote, I obviously won't go to it. But if it's going to be physically there, I will attend that show. That's always fun to watch.
Yeah, I think, like, if Reggie Games is there, I'll go there because they're the ones who are making Primal.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they are there, I'll go there, for sure.
I'm not sure what my 2 stops would be. I don't know. It depends on what is going to be announced, what might be available, because that's where
I think that's the thing. Yeah.
There are already publishers I'm excited to meet up with because that's a big thing. Like, I enjoy talking to publishers and getting in, like, have the interactions, and it's always nice to meet them face to face.
Yeah.
And honestly, same thing with you guys too. If you guys are there,
that would be and I think you were even talking about trying to have something to where we can meet up with the community in a more organized approach, right? To where it's like, instead of us just wandering and someone say, "Hey, Steve, what's going on?" It's just more, "No, come here and let's hang out."
Yeah, my plan is to do an official One-Stop Co-op Shop event at Gen Con.
Yeah.
So I was doing that 1 year, and I wound up not completing the process because actually it was Colin's first time going to Gen Con. That's right. Okay. I didn't want to throw him into this added stuff. I wanted him to experience Gen Con as, for fun. Right?
Yeah.
But this year I plan to do that. It'll be a lot of fun. Plus, there's going to be a lot of us there because Mike's supposed to be there.
Yeah. Bairnt's going to be there.
Bairnt, with the 2 of us, will be there. Colin is going to be there.
Yep, Colin's going.
I don't know if Peter's going to be there. He might be. I didn't confirm or not.
And y'all should have seen the planning for hotels.
Oh gosh!
From this crew, that was amazing. It was. Colin happened to get in early.
Yep.
His number was early up for him to pull, so
he's lucky. He knows.
He's so like, lucky. What room? Is this good? Is this hotel good? Should we pick this up? Oh man, it's gone. What's next? Do you want to pick it up? so everything's solidified, and we'll check it out at the event. I'm going. So I went last year, and Stacy, who's in the chat, Stacy was my she was my guide, and what was funny is that I wasn't saying anything, right? I was just like, oh, this will look cool, and Stacy and I are chatting, and we're walking around Gen Con. And then whenever we'd stop at a booth, she's like, okay, do you know this guy? This is Canje from Canje Studios. He's a YouTube streamer, so she's hyping me. She's my hype person. And the whole time I'm like, this is so awesome. Okay, hi. So Stacy's my +1, and she's going to be. So we'll probably be hanging out and stuff and chatting it up. But plus, because she's been a couple times, she actually gave me some really good tips for my first Gen Con in terms of shoes to wear.
Yes.
She got me into getting these specific shoes, which were perfect for Gen Con.
Good.
And so I like, she's my lifesaver. So anytime I'm in Indy, I have to hang out with Stacy.
Oh yeah. It's so fun meeting people. It's the best. That's the main reason I go to it. So.
Let's see, what do we got? I just found out this week that there is a small chance I can go to Gen Con this year. Gen, yes! Woo! We have. Let's coordinate. We gotta meet up. We gotta hang out. We gotta play board games. So absolutely. Awesome. Yes, Dan. I love stealth games so much. I can't get enough. They're all on my shelf.
It was so funny. We were talking about a little bit behind the scenes here. I am talking with the publisher Triton Noir to cover their new Assassin's Creed game that's coming up. And I was telling Derek about this, and he was like, "Oh, I'm a little worried about it." I'm like, "Why are you worried about it?" Because I think it's gonna be stealth. I'm like, "Yes, it's stealth." And he's like, "Dang it!" Like, that's why I'm covering it.
If y'all have not seen before, so if you want to know how much I detest stealth, there was a Kickstarter for a game called Malia.
Malia, yeah.
And it was you. Was it Pickle?
I don't know. He might have been in that too.
I think, and there was one more. Was it Dr. Ihan who was in there as well?
No, it was
Howard. Was it Howard?
Was it Kikia? No, it wasn't Kikia. No, that was a different game I played with them.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it was Howard as well.
Howard.
And so the four of us, they're teaching me how to play Malia. And it's like, all right, well, you got to kill the guard and hide the body. Okay, I'm gonna stealth. Roll fail.
And the funny thing is, like, there is a small chance the entire stealth mission would fail immediately. And guess what happened?
I rolled it.
You rolled it.
And the entire thing failed. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, Ryan, it was awesome, man, yeah.
So let's see.
Oh, that was so funny. I was like...
So we got question. So this is I know Steve is a deep digger player profile, constrained by the need to be up to speed on the most games. What would you say is your player profile, Canje? Depth or width first?
Good question.
I guess I need to know a little bit more about that question.
So there are generally two facets, and normally it's a spectrum. People follow a spectrum, but do you prefer to play a few games and play them over and over again and get into nooks and crannies to see everything the game has to offer? Or do you prefer to see a wide variety of games and kind of just hit them at a shallow level each time? There's a spectrum.
That depends. Mm-hmm. And I'll say that it's a and, not an or.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gloom and Killforth, deep dive.
Yes, definitely.
Deep dive, right? In terms of... So there are other games that I flow with. I'm both. I'm trying to think of a game that I flow with, just kind of keeping it shallow. What game do you think that I've done that with?
Well, I mean, you've said the example of like Burn Cycle, for example. You just touched it and you're good not touching again.
Because I recognize I didn't like it.
Right.
Yeah. So, but that wasn't a kind of. I guess that's the thing. If we're saying that we'll play a game, whether you like it or not, and deep dive it, I'm not that.
Not necessarily. It's more of like, how would I say it? If you're going to play, so you play Burn Cycle and you bounce off it because you know it's a game you're not liking, that's fine. But are you playing Burn Cycle? Is the reason you're playing Burn Cycle because you want the breadth of experience, or you're playing Burn Cycle because you're hoping this is a game you're going to love and you're going to dive deep into it? Maybe that's a better way of approaching the question. Or maybe it's neither. Maybe for you, you're just exploring to see if you like it or not. Or
I explore to see if I like it, and then if I like it, I can deep dive it. So, like,
okay.
Oathsworn.
Okay, sure.
Oathsworn. Yeah. I didn't bounce off of that.
Nope.
I deep dove that, and when I deep dove it, I found its flaw.
Yep.
And therefore, that caused me to want to move on from it. Or I found what didn't resonate with me. Let me not call it a flaw.
Correct.
I found what did not resonate with me, so therefore, I moved on from it. So I did deep dive Oathsworn.
Mm-hmm.
I bounce off of Arkham Horror. And I bounce off of Arkham Horror because the
LCG or the board game?
The LCG.
Okay.
Because the rules change all the time. It's like the Clinton thing. It depends on the word. The definition of the word is. It's like that's what it is for me. It's like, all right, well, this means three things. So I will bounce off of it because my brain can't handle that short circuiting, but I've got Cynthia, I've got Kate, I've got the chat who at Yogi, who's been really great, who just kind of helps me with that so that I can ask the question. And I'm usually like, hey, I have a question. And I ask the question. They're like, no, this is what it is, because they deep dive it. So LCGs probably not, because the definitions change all the time. I'm looking at. I'm like glancing at my collection to see what else is there.
I mean, I would say a deep dive in United you're doing as well, right?
Oh my gosh, yes, because I love it. But you see, that's the thing. Like I hit it, I like it, I'll deep dive it. But if I don't like it, I'll skim off of it. Or if
that's a good answer.
If the rules are kind of, ugh, then I'll skim off of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'll let everyone see what's there.
Yep.
So hopefully that answers it.
Ooh, H index. That's a good question.
Where is that?
Jan.
I didn't see that one.
What's your H index for instance? Are you familiar with that?
No.
So H index.
Did you just curse at me? What is that? That's a private matter, Jan. That's none of your damn business. No.
So H index is something used in, I think, scholarly publications, but this has been applied to board games. And how you figure out your H index is you take all your games and you rank them by how many times you played them. So your most played games on top and going down.
Okay.
And what you do is you work your way down. So, and you're looking for the point at which the number of plays is less than the rank of it in the order, basically. So let's say I have played. So basically, if my H index is 20, my top 20 games I've played 20 times or more.
Oh, gotcha.
That's a good way of saying it, right?
Gotcha.
It's probably the easier way of saying it. And so it just means that, in my mind, it's a good measurement of saying how much of your collection you've played. How much value have gotten
out of my collection? I've gotten a lot of value out of my collection.
Yeah.
But there's still games that are in shrink wrap.
Sure.
But let's pause that one. I'm gonna do an exercise. I'll do that exercise and see what it is.
Yeah, because last time I checked, I was between 20 and 25 personally.
Okay. I think I'll hit on that number because, like, Killforth is, like, the highest played I've got.
Yeah.
And that's my highest played game.
Do you have games that are more than 100 plays?
Killforth,
yeah.
That one's definitely over 100 plays.
Yeah.
Role player, the base role player, not adventures, but base role player, Dice Throne. So yeah, I'm curious. I'm gonna do this exercise and see what that is.
Yeah, it's fun.
It sparked my curiosity.
Actually, you could probably find it on BGG. Actually, I think it calculates it for you.
It calculates for it. Okay,
I think so. I'll have to double check.
Okay. Yeah.
I stopped recording my plays a long time ago, so I don't know if I could enter that accurately anymore.
So Matt asks, any plans to continue older playthroughs like Lord of the Rings LCG? So Kate and I were playing it because Kate builds the decks and I bounce off of LCGs. So she builds the decks, she teaches me how to play it, and we play it together. I play a lot of older games, actually. I have Eldritch Horror. Eldritch Horror.
Yes.
I've been playing that. I play Arkham Horror. We're at the Edge of the Earth campaign. We're playing Nemesis today, but this is not really an older game.
Played Runebound not long ago.
I played Runebound on the channel twice. Yeah, I basically there's games that stick around my collection that I find super enjoyable, and then the other ones I just kind of you see them falling off in giveaways and donations and things like that. So if you look, well, Steve can see, but if you look at my collection, you'll see they're not full of they're a mix of newer and older games. And like I still have Dead of Winter. I'm not getting rid of that game. That game's amazing. And I know you don't like Dead of Winter. Yeah, but I love it, but I think that it varies. So yes, there will be more playthroughs of older games, but newer games will make it too, because Aeon Trespass Odyssey just I have to tackle that beast. So I will try that out. So I don't know if I answered your question, Matt. If I did, let me know, or ask it a different, or ask me another, like something specific, and then I could definitely answer that for you. Derek's hotness index is a 10. We will find out. For time spent painting the minis for the game count as this age index.
Hotness index. I love it.
Oh gosh, there's so many minis. So question, since it's an AMA, cats or dogs? For me, I'm more allergic to cats than dogs, but I like both.
Okay. I'm a dogs.
You're a dogs person?
Yeah. Cats have grown on me, but
So I was a cat person, and then when I was married, I'm no longer, but when I was married, I we had a dog. Her name was Miss Moneypenny.
Hmm.
All right, and we didn't name her. We adopted her, and we kept the name Miss Moneypenny. She was the perfect dog. She didn't bark. She was perfectly well trained. Like whoever had Miss Moneypenny before trained her like a champion, and I love that dog because she was a couple friend. She was very loving, very affectionate. She didn't do anything that I used to hate the dogs do, and all she wanted to do was just be your butt. And so when she passed, it hit me hard, and I was like, I will never find another dog like her, so I don't want another dog. And then now I have another dog who is a psychopath.
So much energy.
Steve got to meet Max, and Max is a psychopath. And so Max is not like Miss Moneypenny. And so I'm like, but I still like Max, just in a different way. Just in a different way. Miss Moneypenny was a Shih Tzu. And so I've learned because I've had to do a lot of research, but I've learned that there are high energy dogs and there are low energy dogs, and you have to find the dog that matches your lifestyle.
Correct.
And so since my lifestyle is working and then streaming board games, I need a low energy dog. Max is not a low energy dog. He is a Australian African lion hunting dog. So he is like a bushel of energy. So therefore it's tough. All right, what do we got? Dead of Winter is old. I think it is. You know what? Let's find out.
It's older, I guess.
Let's find out. Dead of Winter came out in 2014. It is almost a decade old. It is 9 years old.
Jeez.
So, yes, it's old. Let's see. Yogi's got... Ooh, come on. There we go. Arkham Horror, the card game, is from 2016, so basically it's an old defunct antique. Yeah, I answered that. I just found a new group that has never played Lord of the Rings LCG to introduce it to, and it rekindled my love of
the game is amazing. I love that game.
I would say out of the 3 LCGs, it's on my lower end.
Derek's wrong. It is the best of the 3.
but that doesn't mean it's not fun. I think the mechanic of the angle of you can only play cards. Well, Arkham Horror does that too. Arkham Horror does everything that it does too, just in a different way. So, and then Gandalf is... Who is he in Arkham Horror? I know in
Arkham Horror?
No, I said who is... So Gandalf is Nick Fury.
Yes.
I'm wondering who the character is in Arkham Horror that's that.
I'm not sure, yeah.
But basically, it's Gandalf, Nick Fury, and then whatever the character is in Arkham Horror.
No, I love Lord of the Rings. It was my number 1 game for a long time.
You've got all of it?
You
have a good portion of it.
Well, actually, there's one... I'm missing a Dreadnought that was a standalone expansion pack thing. Okay. But I have the rest of it,
Yeah,
so I love the game. I will never part with that one. It is... And I still go to Con of the Rings. I've gone there so far... every year since they had it.
Yeah.
Well, except for one, I think, with COVID.
But you went last year.
I did go last year. Yep. Yeah. So I go there with Terrence and Colin, and we have a blast.
The thing that makes me nervous about LCGs, especially group-based LCGs, is that, like me, I'm not a good deck builder, so I'm not going to know the most optimal way of play.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, people are going to get pissy because they're like, well, you should have played 13 instead of 76. I was like, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing, and this is no longer fun for me because you're getting mad.
So, this story time. I build decks for fun. I like doing weird stuff. So, there is a card in Lord of the Rings Living Card game called Test of Will.
Okay.
It basically cancels the bad cards. It is very, very good. It's in the core set. It's an excellent game. It is a staple card in the game as a whole.
Yeah.
And we were playing with Terrence, and Terrence is amazing when it comes to living card games. He's in all of them. He's very, very deep into them. Excellent source. So we're playing with him. I pull out a deck that has blue in it, the Spirit Severe. And he asked me, because he knows me, he's like, do you have Test of Will in that? I'm like, nope. why do you not have a core game in your deck? It's going to help us so much. I'm like, because I played it enough. I've seen that card. I'm going to try these other cards.
Yeah.
And so, speaking of not being optimal, that's me.
Yeah, and so my thing is, I'm playing the game for fun.
Me too.
I'm not playing it to be like people who do the... I leave that to the pros, right? So whenever I need, for instance, for Arkham Horror, if I want a deck built, I go to Kate. Kate is a deck building genius. So I'll go to Kate and I'll just say, she'll say, what are you looking for? I'm like, I want this. And then she'll build something for me and give it to me. Otherwise, I will put together the ugliest thing that you've ever seen in your life, and it will piss everybody off at the table because I don't know what I'm doing.
I like doing things that I like exploring what the game can do. Because I remember me and my buddy, we decided to make a deck with a single hero, there's Lord of the Rings, that could not attack, defend, or quest. And see if we can make it work. It was fun, dude. And we actually failed, but that's good. The quest hard.
That's not here nor there.
Here or there. But like, this is what I like doing. I like just picking a random card and how can I make this one card the best it can be. It's fun for me.
I get it. I get it.
Anyway.
So I was happy to watch your videos on it, but there were only 3 so far. Yeah, we're going to get back to it. I think Kate and I got pulled down the rabbit hole of Arkham Horror, and so because Cynthia was like, hey, she was going to play with us. Now, the more people, the more you're like, I want to co-op with, and those 2 ladies are like, that's my squad. We started off playing Gloomhaven, and in Gloomhaven we became a unit, right? It was like whoever else came in, but they're coming into the unit.
Yeah.
And so whenever we tried to, we would pull them in, and then we'd all play and have a good time. But I knew how Kate was going to play. I knew how Cynthia was going to play. And so we were like, okay, well, we moved up. We're going to get back to... Because we're so close to finishing Gloomhaven that we're like, we're going to get back to it. But then we started playing Arkham Horror. And now we're like, okay, we got to finish this cycle and see how this goes.
Yeah, you guys are fun to watch. I enjoy those streams.
They are amazing
They're
to play
fun.
with.
They're fun.
Let's see. What do we got? I'm afraid to stream Arkham Horror because I am just not that intense. Arkham Horror is fun. If you play it solo, it's fine to play 2-handed. Do not play true solo, you will die.
So this is where we're going to differ, because Arkham's my lowest of the 3.
That's your lowest of the 3? I think it's how the story plays that I like.
The story's great.
The Chaos Bag is horrible.
I agree with that, completely.
But the story is what I like, and I think that's not what's there for... That story, that depth of story isn't there for Lord of the Rings for me.
That's by far the best.
And it's not there for Marvel Champions at all. Yeah. Marvel Champions is a boss battler more or less.
And Lord of the Rings has like a little bit of story in there.
Yeah.
And then Arkham's like, here you go.
And that's what I like. And that's why I prefer it. I think that's more if it's the story over the strategy for me.
Yes.
And then the Chaos Back is just rough. So
I have thoughts on the Chaos Back.
It's just mean. Well, it's thematic though. Lovecraft's world is that the Elder Gods are indifferent to anything we do, and anything we do doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. So it's supposed to be you're this schmo who is a microcosm of the world, and you're trying to affect the change against something that is beyond your comprehension. So it's a hard climb.
Yep.
So it's thematic. It's just it's brutal. IH index is 16 for the record. I wouldn't call that great. Well, we'll see. I think
that's better than most, though. Actually.
Yeah, I'll try it out and see what it does. Note the self. Steve's like walking through the jungle without a machete. Got it.
Accurate statement. Accurate statement. Yes.
Question, a bit broad. Interpret as you want. What does each of you think a game has to have for you to enjoy it? What triggers fun for me?
I use the word exploration a lot. If the game has a lot of different things I can tweak and try and see what happens, a big plus for me. The other one is power ceiling. If I can grow to a high power level, that's always fun for me. Those 2 things.
Yeah, what would be my turnoff is when we talk about power level. Mm-hmm. If I'm always struggling to get by, I won't enjoy it. This is the reason why, and Bairnt isn't here to beat me about the head and shoulders, so I'm going to say it. So this is the reason my problem with Madara. Madara, it's like, oh, it's so flexible. There's so much variety. There is variety in your customization. but it is a uphill fight to just barely stay relevant. Barely stay relevant. It's like I tell this story, I was finally able to stand with the level 1 monsters, and immediately it was like, oh, you hit the story point, flip them to level 2. And once again, I struggled to fight. And so it became not fun. So power leveling is important. I don't need to get to God mode where I walk over everything, but I want to have fun with the powers that I have. Sandboxes are big for me. If you don't know, like, my number 1 game is a sandbox game. Hexplore It, I love, is a sandbox game. Zerehua, for all the trappings of that horrible rule book, I still love it because it's a sandbox game.
I think that's where the exploration comes for me too, because sandbox is inherently
an exploration game. Robinson Crusoe. Yeah. So the exploration in it works. In regards to deck building, Jen, I'm going to show you something really cool that you might like. It's called ArkhamDB.com. So ArkhamDB.com, if you ever want to go here, and it pulls up my specific deck, but we're just going to go to the main. So this site is the pros go here and build decks and post them here. So you can actually go to this site and get a deck, build it out, and use it.
I don't know if Arkham has this one because I haven't used it in a long time, but there's a site for these for all of them, honestly.
Yeah.
But I know the Lord of the Rings one, which is RingsDB, will actually, as you're building it, it will recommend cards to put in there, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So even if you don't want to grab a pre-constructed deck that someone's already made, it will suggest the best cards to put in there. And what it's doing is saying, hey, your deck has these cards in it. Other people generally include these cards.
That's cool. Cool. Yeah, I've never done the deck building thing on here, but if you come on here, it'll give you these separate sets, and then you can say, okay, well, I'm playing solo, so you click that, and it will actually filter down to all the solo cards, and then you'll see how people like it or not. And so this one's Roland's Task Force, so if you're going to play solo, they're going to give you, here's all the deck, here's every card that you need in your deck, and then it kind of walks through how you play it. So this will be super helpful if you want to play Arkham Horror, but you're like, I'm not a good deck builder. I'm a horrible deck builder. Horrible. So I trust in the United States of Kate. So she will take care of me. But for Marvel Champions, which has the same thing, I do that as well. I use the Marvel Champions one. Any game where everyone can win together while Kanji's character melts to death is number 1. Damn you, Yogi. which happens a lot in Arkham Horror. Which happens a lot. But as long as we're having fun, I have a good time. And Yogi's awesome. Question, which visual artists are your favorites?
I'll come back to it in a second because I want to answer the next one that Jan mentioned before.
Okay, yep. So
which is the Marvel United has no exploration and no power ceiling. I agree with the power ceiling. Well, mostly agree with power ceiling. There are exceptions. Sunspot, for example, is an exception. His power ceiling
because he builds up those tokens.
But the exploration in Marvel United is definitely there. Even if I change nothing about the game other than our seating order, it could have pretty big impacts to the game.
Yeah.
Because now we're sharing different icons with different characters, which matters a whole lot. Yeah. So I think there's exploration, but not a ton of power ceiling.
And on top of that, there's a lot of people who've said, and Steve and I have to deal with this a ton, but there's a lot of people who said there's not much to it, samey. It's not.
Characters aren't unique.
Characters aren't unique. Yeah. And to that I say, characters, are you kidding me? Yeah. I blow raspberries at you. Are you kidding me? Get this promo box and then say that again. Right. Because they are so different. Just because symbols look the same doesn't mean that they're that how the symbols are implemented doesn't make them unique.
Right.
All right. So what was the
back to the visual artists?
Yeah.
Easy winner for me, I think, is Magali Villavenu. I think you should know the name. If you want, you can look it up. You can pull up her site on there.
I don't even know.
Migali. And then Villa.
A-L-I.
Yep.
And what's the last name?
Villa, V-I-L-L.
Ah, there you are. French illustrator.
Yep. So
Holy crap!
Yeah, she's amazing. She does
magic cards.
Magic, Lord of the Rings, living card game. I think she did Arkham too. I'm not positive on that.
What?
But absolutely fantastic artist.
Damn.
Huge,
Oh my god, look at that.
huge fan of her work. So I always get excited when I see her pop up on a box on our cards. I'm like, ah, my golly, yes! Amazing.
Beautiful. Yeah, I don't know the names that. Man, she's incredible. Look at this.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Lauren Brown's another one I'll shout out. I've chatted with her quite a bit. I've been fortunate for that. She did Deck of Wonders, and I don't know if she's now working on Magic. She's now recently working on that stuff.
Okay.
But she's great because she does a lot of nature elements that are pulled into realistic creatures and stuff. She might be hard to find with Lauren Brown's kind of a.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm pulling up my artist. I don't know the guy's. Her name is Anya.
So she's cool, and the nice thing is she does a lot of representation in her artwork too.
Which is
great.
I love that. So we're gonna search for this. So the artist who does Killforth art. Oh, she has.
Oh, Killforth's great too.
Yeah. So she has. So it looks like she's got. Oh, that's just her.
There's a lot of good artists out there. I Sit Fair and Guard, which you'll see later. Fantastic artwork.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that fully yet. But she does the Killforth art, which to me is phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's kind of my favorite set there.
For sure.
All right, what do we got next? Zeroia is on the water now. Second printing for US. Woo! I probably need to send that home with you because I think you would like it. The rule book is trash, but the game is incredible once you get it. Just to let you know. Marvel United. Oh wait, exploration not as exploring maps and discovering things, but as exploring options and possibilities in the game. Yeah, that's there. I love the Miko, but I have a limited knowledge pool. Some art in board games is just ridiculously good. The Miko? I don't know who the Miko is.
Not sure that is either. So.
Let's do a board game. Artists.
Let's just talk about the micro. What's that? Is that a typo maybe? The micro game? I'm not sure.
So top 15 board game artists. So let's see what we've got.
And yes, Jan, Marvel United as in exploring what the game has to offer, not exploring its maps. That's a good clarification. That's what I meant by you said exploring.
All right, so I googled this, and we've got Chris Quellums who did the. Okay, this.
Valeria series, is that a good one? Valeria's pretty good artwork. It's pretty good.
Beth Sobel did all of the. It looks like Cascadia, Calico, Verdant.
O'Toole. Ian O'Toole. He's cool too. I like his artwork too.
Yeah, the ones for Riverdale. Not Riverdale.
Oh, what's his name?
What's it called? I said Riverdale. That's Archie.
Yeah.
It's I forgot the name of the game. Let's see it right here. It's Everdale.
Oh, Louis Bruh. He did Keep the Heroes Out.
I like that art.
Because he does design, art, and everything. I think he does a really good job too.
Yeah, Xavier looks like a lot of.
So the guy that does
Eastern
the art for all
good.
Shem Phillips games is the Miko.
Oh, the guy. Okay, so the guy that done all the art for which games?
For the Shem Phillips games. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Shem, how to spell it?
SHEM. Phillips.
Shem Phillips.
Yeah.
So I'm not good with name. I'm still getting into the name swing of things. So he did. Oh, Architects.
Oh.
He did Architects and Paladins and all those of the Western Kingdom.
Okay.
That artist.
Okay.
Yep. Which is the Miko.
Gotcha.
Right here. Yep. So that art's pretty
That's
cool.
Good, dude.
I like. So when it comes to artwork. My taste, and this is the reason why I struggle with art, but my taste is landscapes. If you give me glorious landscapes, I love your art.
Yeah.
So that's the big one for me.
For sure.
If we're going outside of board games, I have an artist. I would let me see. What is his name again? It's is it Peter? I will find out his name right now. I know y'all hate when I look away, but I gotta look away for this guy because this is one of my favorite artists. He is. Where are
not board game artist, but Jesper Edsing, classic D&D from way back. Oh, okay. I don't know. I would have looked them up. There's a lot of great artists out there.
There's a lot of great artists.
I wish I could be a great artist too.
My pain is that I am not a great artist. If we go to ArtStation for D&D, ArtStation is just like, that's where they all hang out.
Yeah.
You will see a ton, so that's the Critical Role group. That's the entire Critical Role squad.
Speaking of which, this is while you're looking it up, while I mentioned this, Kim and I have started watching Vox Machina.
Yeah.
So we've been.
Did y'all never listen to the show? Or know where it came? Do you know where it came from?
Yes, we know where it came from. Yeah.
Okay.
But we haven't. We just never watched Vox Machina yet.
Yeah, the show itself is just straight up incredible.
Yeah.
So they're on series 3 now of the show with Hell's Bells. Or Bell's Hells, or whatever they call it. But the Vox Machina series is great.
Right.
And the Critical Role's, their show that they had on, which was on Geek and Sundry, when they were Vox Machina, was better than the show. It's really good. It's just every episode's a 4-hour commitment. So you can't really... And they had 100 and some odd episodes.
Right.
But it was beautiful. It was really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad y'all are liking it.
Yeah, we love it.
Let's see what else we got. Get this over here.
I think we're kind of running through all the questions.
I think we are. The guy that does the art for that, micro. Yeah. So okay, I think we're. It's a good chat. Good Q&A.
Yeah.
It's a good Q&A with everybody.
I'm curious if you guys enjoyed this format. Was this open questions? Because I honestly wouldn't mind doing this more, but
yeah,
it depends on. I'm just curious what you guys think. So,
apart from home and friends, favorite places to be on Earth. I would probably say anywhere that there is something fun to do. It's so broad, and anywhere there is to meet nice people. I don't have a place that I think is. This is the place where I've been kind of thinking, where is my end game place? And I don't have one. I just want to kind of meet people and learn. Always keep learning and keep growing.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
As a person.
I'm not sure how to answer that either. We live in Raleigh, North Carolina, and so we're like 2 or 3 hours to the mountains and 2 or 3 hours to the beach, right in the middle. And so we have choices to go to both, either of them, and we tend to go to the mountains more. So I'll probably list that one.
I mean, I like mountains. I like mountainous regions, but my thing is, I don't think it's the place. It's the people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think I'm more about the people.
It's a tough one. So.
Yeah, so I think it's a cool format. You have a starter topic, but lots of questions is fine too. I don't know. It's just a fun exchange. Yeah, it was fun.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So Gameapalooza is going to be it's in full swing. So we're going to take a quick break, decide what we're going to stream next, and then I will throw that up as the next thing that we're going to do today. So keep in mind, hit if you're interested in seeing, hit like, hit subscribe, and hit the bell to get notified. Or if you just want to hit the bell to get notified when something new pops up, hit that. But today you will see streams just kind of appearing, and that's because we don't know. We have games we're going to play. We just don't know in what order. And Pac-Man's supposed to be coming over to play as well.
Right.
So, so we're going to be playing a ton of games today. There's a lot of stuff on the docket. So just know that there is more. This isn't it. There's more to come. We just have to. I have all the thumbnails ready. We just have to set the time and go. Yep. So keep in mind, you will see stuff popping up on the channel, and it's because we're playing all day today.
You want to list which ones are in queue?
Yes, we have Nemesis, that's in queue. Isofarian Guard. We have a preview, a Kickstarter, a late backer Kickstarter preview of Stifling Dark that's going to be coming in. We have Maximum Apocalypse that we're going to be playing today. We have, what else am I missing? We had 7, so there's 2 more that I can't think of.
Are we doing Dice Throne still or not?
No, but we might do another Marvel United.
Oh yeah, we should do
with the
Phoenix.
With the Phoenix. Well, no, we'll be doing the registration one, the other side of the registration. Or did you want to do that with Kim? Either way is fine. But yeah, we'll do the Phoenix playthrough.
Yeah. I forget. Anyway,
yeah, we've got a lot of games coming. So today there's a lot of stuff being scheduled. Like I said, all the thumbnails are made. I just need to schedule the time we'll play, and we'll figure it out from there.
Oh, jeez, Kim.
What'd she say?
Miss Point, Steve. In your arms was the answer I should have said. When it was
so it ought to be good. So we'll be playing through that. But yeah, it'll be good, and we'll be back. So we will be back, and we'll see how this goes. So everybody, just remember, I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it, and we will see you in 30-ish minutes, maybe.
We'll figure it out. Yeah,
we'll figure it out. So we'll see you pretty soon. Stay tuned. Bye, everybody.
Bye.